Chief Minister Biren Singh appealed to all stakeholders in Manipur for peace, but peace is a distant reality. And despite the appeal, 3 people were shot dead and 4th beheaded after fresh violence was reported in Konjiu Mantabi village in Manipur's Bishnupur district. The 3 killed were volunteers. They were volunteers who were guarding the area in a makeshift bunker along with Vishnupur Churachandpur border when they were killed in an exchange of fire with unidentified gunmen early Sunday. 5 others were left injured in the shootout that took place through Saturday night about 70 kilometers southeast of Imphal. This happened just after Biren Singh visited the site under Kumbi assembly seat and assured the locals that security lapses will be rectified. These are the visuals of Chief Minister. You see Chief Minister is visiting the area. He is wearing a bulletproof helmet. He's visiting these areas, he's going there. And in other developments, a combined team of 4 Assam Rifles and 20 Jat Regiment successfully rescued 5 civilians abducted by Kuki militants on Saturday. Meanwhile, in a big development, United People's Front and Kuki National Organization has decided to lift the blockade at Kangpoki on NH2 with immediate effect. This comes after a recent meeting of UPF, KNO, other groups. Assam Chief Minister Hemant Biswa Sarma, Mizoram's Chief Minister have also spoken on this issue. The curfew has been lifted. Congress MP from Assam, Naogang Pradyut Bordolai, has written to fellow legislators cutting across party lines in Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, urging them to demand a discussion in Parliament on ensuring a conversation on Manipur. This conversation will take place in the new Parliament building. Now, before that, let me ask you, how do you describe these killings, Biren Singh going into interiors, and despite that, people have been killed? How do you take note of this fact?
Well, I think it's a telling sign of the fact that yes, Biren Singh was pressurized to resign. He did not resign, and now he has started visiting the troubled area, which is Churachandpur, Kangpokpi and others, which has been the epicenter of violence. But as we have been discussing, Kartikeya, for almost 2 months now, one of the biggest worry for the government is going to be the control on violence. People are being beheaded, people are being killed, and it was a killing which happened on wee hours of Thursday morning, which propelled which singed the entire state of Manipur into further crisis and had put so much pressure on Chief Minister Biren Singh. I think the biggest problem or biggest challenge for the government are twofold. First, to control the number of weapons which are out there. They have to ensure that they get the number of weapons back, and also simultaneously they'll also have to ensure that there is curb on violence and there has to be a maximum action taken, strongest action possible to be taken against those who are perpetrating into this senseless violence which is engulfing the state of Manipur.
Okay. Major General Meston, what explains this violence? 3 shot dead, 1 beheaded in clash. Village volunteers got attacked.
Kartikeya, good morning. Absolutely. See, with whatever is happening, one thing is very, very clear: the violence continues unabated. That should be the entire focus, how to finish off this violence. And let me tell you, I have been always reiterating, it has to be done in a political manner. Armed forces can only control and suppress a certain thing, and even the armed forces today are having limitations in their functioning. Because the free hand, the way an army operates or the Assam Rifle operates, there are a lot of restrictions and there are issues. So to sum it up, this violence continues, and it is going to be bad in the longer run, because now I think the wounds have become so strong between the two ethnicities. I wonder as to how it will be resolved, because this has been a deliberate attempt to seed the sow the seeds of
General Sir, how important is this visit of our Defence Secretary to 2-day visit of Myanmar, in which he is discussing illegal trans-border movement, transnational crime, drug trafficking, smuggling? We have sent Defence Secretary to Myanmar.
Yeah, very true. It is a good attempt, but let me be very candid. The visit is something which is required, and we have to tell the Myanmarese military not to allow. But let's look at the Myanmarese military. Are they so effective? Our defense secretary will rightfully convey our concerns that cross-border this infiltration should cease and all the support should cease. But everything is happening from across the borders, and Myanmar army is as it is so corrupt. How will their orders percolate down to the lowest ranks? There is a nexus of total corruption there in the Myanmarese army. So nothing. It's a good gesture. It's a good attempt, but on ground, how it will manifest, that remains to seen. The Indian Army chiefs have visited. We have had so many visits there. We have been even gifting them military equipment. But on ground, the situation, what happens is that Manipur is always supported by external agencies. And I've been reiterating it, China is benefiting. And obviously the conduit is the Myanmarese army. So I really don't feel on ground situation would change much. This has to be resolved internally, and internally means when I say it has to be resolved at the state level. And this is where we have been talking about since many days, and perhaps it is going out of control. No headway is being made. Karthik.
Okay, madam, I just want to know that why Bishnupur has become epicenter of violence now. Rahul Gandhi was there, the blockade took place. It is around that area that the women came out again. The movement of army, then again the violence has taken place. Churachandpur I understood, but why Bishnupur? Why Bishnupur in last 10 days?
Kartikeya, good morning. I feel that why Vishnupur is the epicenter, because it's being on the bordering the Kangwai, which is separating the Imphal Valley and the Hill District, right? And then Rahul Gandhi visit, which also clearly indicates that if a person cross Vishnupur district, so then it becomes, like a Lakshman Rekha. Like you cannot cross beyond that. So if you visit, if you are coming to visit, it becomes a point of, or let's say a region of dispute and contention, because I feel that that's where a strong demarcation has been already done. So, and also adding on to that, like what you are asking me regarding, the role of this region and the role of the Mera Paibis, and then how they have kind of take a very, despite their historical role in combating social crimes and promoting peace and human rights in the state, they seem to have overtaken and dictated the terms of the high reason of the state and its role in maintaining law and order in the state in the wake of the violence. So that also has to be correlated when coming to, opposing Rahul Gandhi to go beyond that Vishnupur district. And also how the love and hate relationship between Biren Singh and the Mera Paibis. So all this and the kind of drama which has taken place during the resignation, and how they have been in the front line, the Mera Paibis in the front line in, stopping the armies, in not letting themselves do their work, and then how they have been used for a popular vote, or let's say for Biren Singh to gain people's confidence, saying that, he has have the support of the majority of the people. That's why he has retracted from his resignation. So all this kind of happenings and series of events also kind of pointed out why that area has become a point of contention and there are various other reasons also. Maybe I can come later on. But
absolutely, Dr. Gute, Professor Bhagat also joins us. How are you, sir? If I'm not wrong, you visited Imphal, sir?
I am right now in Imphal.
Oh, wonderful.
Internet connection is
first
very
thing I would,
bad, so
Professor Bhagat, I have no question for you in this conversation.
Am I audible?
You are audible, and I have no question for you. You tell me what you have seen and what you have felt.
So I was in the site where Chief Minister visited yesterday. I wanted to go up to the bunker, but they stopped me. But luckily, when Chief Minister climbed up, I also followed. So situation is very tense. What is happening is these poor villagers, they are inhabited in the foothills. Uh, am I still audible to you,
Oh, yes, you are
Kartikeya?
audible. You are audible.
Yeah. This Meitei villages is in the periphery, and they are in the foothills, and they were building bunkers in the top of the hills to protect themselves, and they were going in the group of 4 or 5 around the clock. But unfortunately, they had only two licensed guns, double barrel, and one of which was not working. So around 12 at night, the Kuki militants came with sophisticated gun, and they could not challenge them enough. And the two of them were shot at the same time at the moment. One was shot, but he tried to run away, but then he was killed with knife. His half of his head was chopped off, and then the fourth one ran down. Luckily, he survived. So I could speak to the father of the person who who fled away unheard. Now the thing has happened. What Kartike is, it has become like a civil war, which initially I was reluctant, and perhaps it was not there earlier. It was only the Kuki militants trying to attack and create havoc in the villages. Now the Meitei side also, what I am told is many surrendered insurgent groups, personals, they have joined the ranks. They are trained ones, they surrendered, but they have also joined the people. And many are also trained. So is the case in the Kuki side. So it is almost like, politics are also armed, and they are also trained in both sides, and they are into this. It's like a clear battlefield, and army and the police forces were hardly visible. So perhaps this is how things are going to happen for a few more days. And people are very angry. I can see from the Meitei side, women's coming out. Their everyday walk of life has been disrupted. Many and the people were going in the paddy field, but then they were shot, targeted from the far away with gunshots. So they are scared to go to the field. So they are all very angry and anxious that normal life is not to be seen. It is very, very disturbing sight.
Professor Bhagat, you know, in my interaction with you, you have used very words in a very restrained way. First time in some 40 days I have interacted with you, you have used the word civil war.
Yeah, for the first time I'm using this because I was in Delhi, Kartike, you know it. So always you are governed by your rational self and the idea of a peaceful life. But when you go to the field, you see how people are entire, the houses are almost no one is staying. People have come out in the streets all across the road, and there is a voice of anger, anxiety. Then, what is also surprising for me to see is many youths, the Meitei youths from the city, they have come up with vehicles, SUVs, and many are willing to go for battle. They are ready to go up. But then those who are trained militants, they are stopping and they are saying there are people in the front line. If there are anyone who is shot or injured, then you can go up. So it is like a very well planned fight that is going on. Even I wanted to go to the bunker where these three mighty guys were killed. But I was stopped from going there, saying that is very risky. Only when Chief Minister went up, I followed. So this is the situation in which it was. I spent around 5 hours there the whole day.
Okay, Professor Bhagat, what about food, water, other things? Are they available to common people?
Interestingly, yes. I mean, people are It's like you remember in Delhi when COVID time people came out in the streets, or some organizations, civil society groups coming out giving food, langar, water. Exactly, that is happening. Surprisingly, people came, and people even say that they have uh, even the people who are in politics or otherwise, those who are little well off, they are touching in money and helping people to cook and supply food to all the people who have come.